Good day. Today we're going to be looking at factoring a GCF. Now, as a warm-up, we're going to do the opposite of factoring. We're going to distribute variables and coefficients. So let's look at number 1. I have a times, and in parentheses, 3a plus 7. I'm going to distribute my a to every term in the parentheses. 3a times a is going to be 3a squared. A times positive 7 will be positive 7a. That's finished. Moving on to 2. I'm going to multiply negative 2m by everything. Negative 2 times the 1 for the m squared will be negative 2. M times m squared is m cubed. I'm adding the exponents. This is a 1, so 1 plus 2 is 3. All right, negative 2 times positive 6 is negative 12. M times m is m squared. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. M times no m's is just going to be 1m, and I'm finished. The last one, 4x cubed plus times y times x squared minus 2y. This will be 4x cubed times x squared is 3 plus 2, 5. X to the 5th, tag on the y, minus 2 times 4 is 8. There's no x term, so I'm going to bring in the x cubed. Y times y is y squared. Now this is distributing a number from the outside of the parentheses. What we're doing today for factoring is breaking down an expression into products. So we're going to do what we just did in the opposite direction. So in this example, 4x squared plus 8x. First thing I'm looking at is the coefficients. I have a 4 and I have an 8. The largest factor that goes into both of them is 4, so I'm going to pull out a 4. I'm going to look at my terms now. I have an x squared and an x. There's an x in both terms. I can pull out an x. The lowest power is 1. So I have 4x. 4 divided by 4 is 1. I had two x's. I pulled out 1. I have 1 remaining, so 1x. 8 divided by 4 is 2. I had 1x. I pulled it out. There's none left. I'm finished. So it's 4x times, you can leave off the 1 if you want, but x plus 2. If you cannot factor it, it is called prime. So in order, we're going to check the coefficients, we're going to look at the variables, and we're going to see what we can factor out. Now I'm going to jump down into number 3. Actually, well, yeah, let's do 3. For number 3, I have 8m plus 36n. Choose your lowest coefficient. In this case, the lowest coefficient is 8. I'm going to do the factors of 8. 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8, and that's it. I highly recommend writing it in a list like this to try. Now, we're going to work with 36. If I do 36 divided by 8, and you can do Desmos if you want, this is going to give me a number that cannot be simplified. It is a decimal. It is actually 4 point something. I don't really care about that decimal. Or you can say this is 9 over 2. Either way, it's a fraction. I cannot use the 8. So, let's try the 4. 36 over 4. This is 9. Since it gave me a whole number, my greatest common factor is 4. The next thing I need to look at is the variables. I have an m and I have an n. They are not in common. I can't do anything with them. The GCF is 4. 8 divided by 4, 2m. 36 divided by 4, 9n. Finished. I'm going to jump down and find one where I can pull out a variable. You can in 6, but I'm more interested in number 7. Okay, the factors of 3 are 1 and 3. Does 3 go into 21? It does. It goes in by 7. So 3 is the coefficient. Now if I look at my variables, I have a C and I have a D. D are in both terms, so I'm going to pull out the D. I'm left with 7C because I pulled out that 1D. There's nothing remaining. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I pulled out that 1D. There's no D's remaining. There's my answer. I'm finished. All right, now let's look at number 11. Number 11, I don't have any coefficients. So we just have to go straight to variables. I have an A, I have a B, and I have an A. The A's are in common, they're in both terms. I can factor out an A. So from the first time I pulled out A, I'm left with B. The second time I pulled out A, but A divided by A is 1. So it's B minus 1. Let's go to 13. Number 13, I have a coefficient of 5. 5 is prime, so I need to see does 5 go into 13. 13 divided by 5 is not simplifiable. It is not going evenly. I do not have a coefficient that I can pull out from these numbers. Look at your variables. I have an X, I have a Y. Those are not in common. I can do nothing to this. This problem is prime. I'm going to jump down to number 18. I have 12a to the 5th b squared minus 36a to the 4th b cubed minus 6a squared b squared. All right, I'm going to look at my lowest coefficient. That would be 6. My factors of 6 are 1 and 6, 2 and 3. So the question is, does 6 go into 12 and 36? 12 over 6 is 2. 36 over 6 is 6. So yes, 6 is my GCF, my greatest common factor. Now let's look for variables. I have A's and I have B's. Now if you notice, the previous problems, you would have 2 A and B terms, and the highest power has been 2. In this case, I have an A to the 5th power. So here's what I'm going to do. I know I can pull out A, because A is in all 3 terms. Now, how many A's can I pull out? I'm going to look at the exponents. The lowest exponent is this 2. So I'm pulling out that A squared. Likewise, for the B's, it is in all 3 terms. The lowest exponent is 2. All right, 12 divided by 6 is 2. I had 5 A's. I pulled out 2 of them, so I have 3 remaining. I pulled out 2 B's. Out of the 2, I have nothing remaining for B. 36 divided by 6 is 6. I had 4 A's, I pulled out 2, so I have A squared remaining. I had 3, I pulled out 2, I have 1 remaining. 6 divided by 6 is negative 1. I pulled out both A's, I pulled out both B's, I'm finished. All right then. There's your answer. Now I want to show you a problem in Desmos. Let me look down through here. I'd say the hardest one for y'all is probably number 22, maybe? Well, let's do 22. I want to show you how to use Desmos to help you with these problems. So if I have 16xy squared plus 28xy plus 8y. Now, this one isn't too hard in my opinion, but the question remains, how can I use Desmos to find this GCF? That is really, really simple, actually, and here's how. You're going to go to Desmos and type in the letters GCF, put parentheses. You cannot put in variables. You can only do this for the coefficients. So in number 22, my coefficients are 16, comma, 28, comma, 8. My GCF for number 22 is 4. So I'm going to write down 4. Now I'm going to look at my variables. I have an x in 2 out of 3 terms, so I can do nothing with x. I have a y in all 3 terms. The lowest power is 1, so I'm going to pull out 1y. Again, that to the first power is not necessary, but it might help you see it. So, 16 divided by 4 is 4. I'm leaving the x alone. I had 2 y's, I pulled one out, I have one left. 28 divided by 4 is 7. I'm leaving the x alone. I had 1 y, I'm pulled it out, there's none left. 8 divided by 4 is 2. I pulled out that 1 y, I'm finished. Please use Desmos to help you solve the problems, but you need to know how to do it by hand also. Okay. Is there any more I want to do? I want to look at number 24 because I have 3 variables. All these are good, I do believe. Okay, let me do number 24 and I'll let you try the rest. Now you can use Desmos to find the GCF, but it's 3. 3 is prime, it goes into 9 and 15, GCF is 3. I have 3 different variables now. A's, the lowest power is 1, so I'm going to pull out a to the first. I have B's, the lower power is the square here, so I'm going to pull out b squared. And I have C's. The lower power is this one to the first. C to the first. All right, 3 divided by 3 is 1. I had 3 A's, I pulled 1 out, so I will have 2 left. I had 2 B's, I pulled both of them out, there is no B's. I had 1 C, I pulled it out, there is no C. So it's 1a squared, or just a squared. All right, negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. I had 2 A's, I pulled out 1 of them, so I still have 1 left. I had 3 B's, I pulled out 2, I have 1 left. I had 2 C's, I pulled 1 out, I have 1 left. Plus 15 divided by 3 is 5. I had 1A, I pulled it out, there is no A's left. I had 4 B's, I pulled out 2, so I have B squared left. I had 3 C's, I pulled out 1, I have C squared left. All right, I want you to try the rest of these. So pause the video and try 1 through 8. Pause it for 9 through 17. And pause it through 19 through 23. Okay, now I'll show you the answers and we'll be done. This is all that I have for you today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.